everyone, welcome to my Flosstube channel, Thread the Needle. My name is Vani and I am here today with my year in review of 2023, my WIP parade, and my stitching plans for 2024. I've got a lot to get through, so I'm just going to jump right in. I have my notebook with my notes so that I don't forget anything. And we're going to start with a WIP parade and a review of projects, okay? So I'm going to start with the projects that I have on rotation. And these projects will continue to be in rotation in 2024. So we are going to start with everyone and my favorite, Ganesh. So Ganesh has been stitched for a while now. It is being stitched on 22 count Aida, or actually I think it's Hardinger. And so far I have stitched 83,301 stitches. And for the year, I stitched 3,499 stitches to get me this far from where I started. So I am going to post a before picture that I have of where I was with Ganesh before at the beginning of the year. And here's where we are now. So I've made quite a nice bit of progress, and I'm really looking forward to getting some more progress in. It's going to stay in my rotation, and I always look forward to picking up this piece. Next up, we have World Travel Bookshelf. Now, World Travel Bookshelf is being stitched on 25 count 1/1 full cross, and it's a Heaven and Earth Designs project. I have decided to stitch one shelf at a time, and this year I completed 1,160 stitches on it, which brought me to a total of 69,838 stitches. And here is where we are. I'm going to try and, so I'm not showing so much fabric and you only need to see what you need to see. So here is what I have done so far on World Travel Bookshelf. It is so colorful and so much fun to work on. I really, really like it. And here is the latest section that I have been stitching on. Then next we have SK Life is an Open Book London. It's on 22 count, Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's 2/1 full cross. Now London, yeah, I'll keep it in my rotation. I'm going to try and keep all of them in my rotation. And I'm happy with what I got done so far. This year I stitched 1,237 stitches on it. And that brings me to a total of 17,482 stitches so far put in on this London piece. Nice, huh? And then next up, as I turn my page, we have Peacock Fantasy. Now, Peacock Fantasy is stitched on 28 count, 1/1 full cross, a Heaven and Earth Designs project, and it's on a 28 count Lugana, I believe. Here is where I am with the piece so far, and this year so far I stitched 1,461 stitches, and that brings me to a total of 8,880 stitches put in on this little peacock. That's a lot of stitches. And so tiny stitches. But I still enjoy it a lot. Then we have Ayana, another favorite of mine. Honestly, I think all of them are favorites of, you know, because you only stitch on things that you like, right? Let's fold that like that. So Ayana is being stitched on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. And so far this year, I stitched a mere 951 stitches to bring me to a total so far of 13,588 stitches. So not bad. Not as much as I would have liked. Oh, I got a little bit done over here. Not as much as I would have liked. I really did like the challenge where I got the chance to stitch a different area. So you can tell that her face is coming here, and I'm really looking forward to it. And then next we have our favorite owls, Owl Trio, Autumn Owl Trio. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and it's being stitched on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. And here is where we are so far. I stitched 2,353 stitches on this piece this year so far, and that brought us to a total of 68,740 stitches. So we made a really nice, good bit of progress on this one, and I'm very, very excited about this one. I really, really enjoy it a lot. Next in our WIP parade is Enchanted Garden. Like I said, this one I have high hopes to finish this year. I really, really want to do it, okay? So, Enchanted Garden, this year, we only put in about 684 stitches, and that brought us to a total of 7,755 stitches. So very, very close, almost done. I really want to finish it this year. That's my goal for 2024. I said this year, I meant next year, 2024. Okay. And that's a Heaven and Earth Designs piece. It's discontinued, and it was part of a, I'll come to that. It used to be part of a sale that they did. Now, next up is our other favorite owl, Sleepy Owlet. And this year so far, we put in 1,627 stitches. So this is Sleepy Owlet so far. And that brought us to a total of 41,921 stitches. Not a bad day of stitches. And this is by the Cross Stitch Studio, and it's stitched on 18 count, 2/1 full cross. Next up, we have Tiger Dreams. I feel like throughout the year with the stitches that I was able to put in, I finally got to a place of something interesting happening and not just dark background. It's still background, but different color background. So here's how much I got completed on Tiger Dreams. This year I did 1,964 stitches, and that brought us to a total of 3,239 so far. And as you can see, this is what I was talking about. I'm finally getting into a little bit more different shading of the background. Still background, but different shading. I'll take it. Oh, and this is on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. Next up, we have Mini Dragon Charmer. Now, Mini Dragon Charmer is one of my older WIPs, and I only recently brought it back into rotation. So I'm very happy that I did make this much progress on it. I stitched 2,107 stitches on this little Mini Dragon Charmer. That brought me to a total of 7,155 stitches. Not bad. The dragon is finally starting to take shape right here, and I couldn't be happier. Next, Prelude to a Kiss. Another one of my really old WIPs that I took out of storage and put into my rotation. Let's look at it. So this one is being stitched on 22 count 2/1 full cross. And here's how much we got completed so far this year. Well, all across anyway. I did 1,120 stitches on this, and that brought me to a total of 88,000. Nope, sorry, that's wrong. 8,878 stitches. That's what this is right here. It is so detail oriented, so much confetti in this piece, but so satisfying when it's completed because the detail is amazing. Next up we have, where is it to? Siamese Fighting Fish. Here we are. And I completed just 761 stitches on this year. That brought me to a total of 21,200. I didn't get a lot of stitching time on this one, but I hope to change that in the coming year because we're really getting into some important areas, I think. So I'm looking forward to the blues and the greens and working on this one. And this is by Anita. It was actually charted from artwork from her son. Now, next up, let's see. Next up, we have Mini Opening Night. Now, we finally got to see some really fun stuff on this one because from one of the challenges during Flossmas, I got to move on to another section, and I really, really like it. Mini Opening Night is done on 18 count 2/1 full cross. And oh look, I gotta open it up even more. That's how much progress we got. Okay. So this year so far, I put in 1,270 stitches, and so far that gave me 6,394 stitches. And I'm really, really going to enjoy this one because I know now that stuff is happening over here. The background is easy to stitch on this one, but it's going to be so much fun to actually stitch and something actually appear. Next up, we have Mini Little Dreamer's Tree. So this one I have been steadily working on for a while. Here it is. And here is where we are. This year so far, I put in just 529 stitches. So not one of the projects that I worked on very much, but I did manage a little bit. And that gave me to a total of 8,169 stitches so far on this project. 18 count 2/1 full cross. Then after that, we have Mini Moose Crossing. Mini Moose Crossing is so much fun to stitch on because there's so much detail there. And the second that you step away and have a look at it, it's lots of fun. So as part of the challenge for one of the Flossmas videos, I had to just start on a new page. And so here's where we are with that. So this year so far, I did 1,088 stitches on this project. That brought me to a total of 5,416 stitches so far on this. And I really enjoy this because it's an easy stitch. It's on my favorite count, 18 count. And you don't really realize what you're stitching on until you step away and then you realize all the detail that went in there. And I really, really like it. It's so vivid. And I can't wait for even more detail to come out. It's lovely. I love this piece. Next up, we have Ooh. So, Mini Avarice is a project that I absolutely love. I love the series. The series is the 7 Deadly Sins. This is the first one that I selected. I don't know why I picked Avarice. I think maybe it's just I wasn't working on any projects that had a lot of yellow, and I was like, let's do that one. And I can't wait to move on to the others in this series. But I started with this one. It's on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. And here is where we are so far. I think in the next few rows of diagonals, I'm going to get close to actually stitching on the lady. So I stitched 1,569 stitches on this one this year, and that brought me to a total of 7,993 stitches so far on this project. It is so much fun. All those yellows, they can get a little, you know, but I love the result. I really, really do. It's such a joy to stitch on. Next up, we have Sunflower Bee. Another project that I'm continually working on background, but it's so worth it because I know it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And this is done on 18 count, 2/1 full cross. And here's what I have so far. And on Sunflower Bee, I stitched this year only 955 stitches. And that brought me to a total of 5,050 stitches so far. That's what this triangle is, 5,050 stitches. I can't wait to keep going on this one. Next up in my WIP parade is QS Sapphire, another series that I absolutely adore from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the 4th birthstone that I'm working on in the series. This is QS Sapphire, and I love her. Love her so much. Unfortunately, this year I didn't get to work on her very much. I only put in 784 stitches on her, and I really hope that I get a chance to stitch more. So far, that brought me to a stitch count of 16,305, and she's being stitched on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. Do not mind the coloring down here. That was my poor attempt at tea staining. I wasn't brave enough to go really hard at it, but I just wanted it something different to stitch on than just plain blank color. But now I just buy it and have other people do it for me because they're much more expert at it and I suck. So I'd much rather spend my time stitching. There you have it. QS Sapphire. Can't wait to keep continuing on her. Looking forward to this one too. I think I'm looking forward to just a fresh start and re-enthusiastic about all of my stitches. I love all of my projects. And one of my favorite ones is coming up right now. Golden Promises. Now this one, I actually got quite a bit of stitching done this year on this. The most actually. I completed 3,778 stitches on it this year so far. Okay? So look at that. That brings me to a total of 36,552 stitches. Look at that. So beautiful. So much fun to stitch on because it's 18 count and it is confetti driven. However, it's so much fun to stitch on. Just the detail and the colors and the brightness that it just a joy to stitch on. And I cannot wait to keep going on this one. So I think that was the project that I stitched on the most this year. That's a Heaven and Earth Design one as well. As you can see, the majority of them are. Now, we're going to move on to the pieces that are... Okay, let's move on to this one next. I want to save those ones for later. So this one is Mechanical Seahorse. It started off as a mystery cell from the Cross Stitch Studio 2 years ago. Yes, because 3 years ago was the Sleepy Owlet which was also a mystery cell from Cross Stitch Studio, and then this one, which is Mechanical Seahorse, and I got 2 pages completed on it. Okay, so here's what, I don't think I have a before picture for there, so this is how much I've got done so far on it. 2 pages. So confetti heavy, a lot of blues and whites and very similar colors, but I want to keep going because that seahorse is just adorable. I think it would be perfect to hang up in a bathroom somewhere. It's amazing. Really, really lovely. I have another piece from the Cross Stitch Studio, which I have to say I did not keep along with this year's Mysteries Stitch Along, but I know what it is now. It's called Peppermint Rose. And like I said, I got barely anywhere with it, but that's okay. It's now in my WIP pile and I'm going to move on. So here's how much I got done. This is the first page and I'm very, very close to finishing it. As you can see, it's like a retro design, like a, you know, I kind of like it. I can't wait for to actually stitch on the rose part of it. That's going to be so much fun. So there you go, Peppermint Rose. So those are the projects on my rotation that I'm going to have for next year. Then we have all my specialty pieces. By specialty, it means that I have special plans for them. Okay, so let's start at the top. As always, again for next year, 2024, I have a very special focus piece that I want to stitch on, and it's my piece that I want to give my husband for our anniversary. I should have taken it out of the frame. For our anniversary, and I really want to be able to give it to him for our 25th anniversary, framed or not framed, I don't know. So it's going to be my daily 100 piece. I heard about this type of way of stitching from, I think I heard it from Leanne first. Small Stamp Stitches, if you want to check her out. And she mentioned a few years ago, that she would always have a project where she would stitch a certain number of stitches on every day, and it's called Daily 100 because you stitch at least 100 stitches on it, and you really see progress on that one piece. And I was like, this is what I have to do. So I'm going to continue to have this as my daily 100. As you can see, I've already got the tops of our heads done, and I'm working my way towards finishing my face. And then, so this is the end of 1 page row here. So after I finish this section right here, I'm going to move on and finish his face to catch up to this row and then move down lower again. So this is going to be my daily 100 plus, meaning I'm going to try and get more than 100 stitches on there. And I really want to make a good bit of progress. So that is my focus piece for 2024. I said that for 2023 and I really did not listen to myself. Mostly because I took a bit of a hiatus from stitching over the summer. And there was some days that it just wasn't a good year for stitching, you know what I mean? And so I'm hoping to change that, but at the same time I don't want to pressure myself. So if it doesn't get ready for our 25th anniversary, that's okay. He doesn't know about it, so it's not a big loss. He's going to be surprised whenever he gets it. And I want to enjoy the process. I don't want to put a huge amount of pressure on myself. I want to get it done, but at the same time, I feel like you have to enjoy what you're stitching. There should be only joy when it comes to picking up your needle and whatever project you're stitching on. If it's not giving you joy, put it away for a little while. I find that sometimes with projects. Sometimes, whether it be the particular fabric that it's being done on, or the particular colors, or the style of stitching, just not in the mood for it. So I will put it away, and after a while, when I go back to it, I have a new energy and a new feeling about it, and I start to love it again. So that would be my advice for you for 2024. Always stitch and only stitch on the things that bring you joy. Why else would you want to stitch? Because it brings us so much joy. And this is why we're all here, you know, to stitch on the things that we love. Now, another specialty piece that I have is my Christmas piece. Now, speaking of my Christmas piece, I started it a couple years ago with Leanne. Excuse me, as I dropped something. I started it with Leanne from Small Town Stitches. And we started it as a Christmas in July. I can't even remember what year. And I thought, well, I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to make this into a extreme cross-country stitch. Because why not? I tried. I really, really tried. But I think I picked the wrong project. Because it was just endless color of the same shades. And I just couldn't. And so I gave up. Sorry, I just couldn't handle the extreme cross-country anymore. And it's not my cup of tea. Maybe if it was a smaller project and it was like multiple different colors, maybe I could manage something like that. But not for this project. Okay, so then I switched to my favorite stitching method of, so here's, I'm going to show you this first. So here's how I managed to get, right? And then here, when I switched to just my regular page by page stitching in the diagonal, look how much nicer it looks. I love the way it looks. Like I used to be a cross-country stitcher. I'm still a cross-country stitcher of sorts. I stitch in the diagonal cross-country. But this extreme cross-country business, nah, it's not for me. I'm props to anybody who does extreme cross-country. Good on ya. But me, nah. This is my cup of tea, and here's where we are. So, what got me so excited was that by doing it this way, I don't know if you can tell, there's a slight color variation right there at the bottom corner. And that is where the darker part of the sky comes. And I think at the end of this page right here, the top of the house comes. How exciting is that going to be? So, like I said, for my specialty pieces, I've got a plan. For my anniversary piece, I want to stitch on it every day. That's going to be my daily 100. So at least 100 stitches every day. That if it's 100 stitches, it's not going to get me to my goal of finishing it by my anniversary in 2025, March. But it'll get me that much closer. However, if I do more than 100 stitches on my anniversary piece, it'll bring me even closer. So I didn't want to pressure, so daily 100 plan for that. For this, it's Christmas. I liked stitching on it every 24th and 25th of every month. I'm going to keep going with that for this piece. That's my goal. Next in my specialty rotation is Birds in Bloom. So this one I picked up, I started it on Mother's Day this year. I got the fabric from the retreat that I went to, and I picked it up from Kaylee's Table. Kaylee is the sewing shop, and you can find her on Etsy at Kaylee Tent Stitch. And I bought the fabric from her, and it's a very unique shape. I bought it because it's absolutely beautiful fabric, duh. And I was like, what in the world am I going to stitch on something that's so long and so narrow? And then Pam from Pam's Crafty Corner, who is one of my local stitching buddies, she said, I have the perfect pattern for you. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs one, Birds in Bloom, and that's what I did. I absolutely love this, and I also paid to have the background removed. I was going to do it myself, but that was a pain in the bum, so I decided to get the chart without the background, and it's so much fun to stitch on. Look, you can already see so much details. I don't even know the name of that tree, that plant, flower. And then we have the first bird coming up here. It's going to be amazing. So this is my Sunday stitch. All right, so every Sunday I'm going to be stitching on this. Next up in my specialty pieces rotation is Ottoman Tiles. Now this I selected as a birthday gift for Leanne. And I picked it because it's colors that she likes. Make sure I show it to the right side up. And because she has the same birthday as my son. And I really wanted to do something special for her because she's such a lovely friend. And we met through this wonderful world of cross stitch. And I wanted to do this for her. And it has a lot of the colors that she likes. But I didn't get a lot of work on it. So this year what I want to do is I want to stitch on every month on the 16th. that way I'll get at least a few hundred every month in on it. And I feel like that will make me feel better about it. She knows she's not getting this for a while. She knows how we cross stitch. But I feel like she's one of the ones who will appreciate the effort anyway. So that's for Ottoman tiles. That is my 16th of every month stitch. Next up, we have, let's see, did that one, that one, that one. Oh, I'm going to continue doing my Stitch With Me videos. I've been doing it on Mini Forget Me Not. I love this chart so much. And I really enjoy doing the Stitch With Me videos. I only put out a couple this last year, but I really want to get back into them. And we're finally getting into the flower. This is how far I've made it through. So of course, this is all background. But then this little blue section right here is a flower petal, I believe. So really, really looking forward to working more on this. Mini Forget Me Not for my Stitch With Me videos. Next, I think that's all for like the specialty pieces I have planned for next year. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to start talking about my new starts. I already have plans for a few new starts next year, and I wanted to go through them with you. First up is a sal that I heard about a few months ago by Carolyn Manning Designs. And it's very similar to the Ottoman tiles. It's very tile-esque, and she's doing a sal for for a year, one for every month. So they're not very big. I'm going to put, I probably already posted the picture of what it's going to look like, but it's a flower for every month. So she started with the month of November. Now, because so much was happening for me during the month of November and December, I actually didn't start it until just a couple of days ago after my Flossmas videos were done, and I actually picked it up. And the first one that she put out was for the month of November, and it's chrysanthemum. Am I saying, yes, why is that a tongue twister? Chrysanthemum. Yes. Okay. So here's how much I got done so far on that one. Can I just tell you how much fun it is to stitch on this? It is so therapeutic because it's like mosaic tiles, and it is so much fun to stitch on, and I really, really going to enjoy. I really want to try and stay on top of this. I probably won't finish one per month. I'm already behind. She already put out the December one. And this is the month of November chrysanthemum. So, but I'm happy with how much I got done in just a couple of days. So I'm really looking forward to continuing on this one. It's going to look so good. And it's so fun to stitch on. I never thought that, and it's still full coverage, which is the best part. I'm really, really going to enjoy this one. The best part is this fabric. So I quickly sent a message to my friend Kaylee, and I said, hi, can you make me some very special fabric for this Carolyn Manning sal that I'm doing? It's called Start Touched Meadow, and each month is going to be a different flower. I need to buy some fabric from you. And she was amazing. She made 12 individual swatches of fabric for all of the months. Okay, so of course we have this one. I probably should have started it in this direction so that the drip went that way, the dye drip, but that's okay. I started it this way, and that's fine. Then I'm just going to show you quickly all of them, okay? So we have this one. They're all on, I think I asked her 18 count. So there's that one. Kaylee's amazing. Go find her at the sewing shop. And then there's this one. I think it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to wait and see each month what colors are there. Ooh, and this one has a little bit of gold sparkle on it. Can you tell? Can you see the sparkle? I don't know if you can. There. So this had gold sparkle on it. I'm going to wait till the month chart comes out and kind of see what fabric will go best with it. Here's another one. And there. So she made 12 swatches, one for every month. It's going to be so much fun. You can't see, but there's little specks of yellow in there too. Yellow and pink. And this one's so pretty. Ooh, I like this one. So I'm very excited to see what flowers come out each month. And it's going to be so much fun picking a piece of fabric. So thank you, Kaylee, so much for that. And that is my Carolyn Manning Sal, the Star Touched Meadow. And that's going to be so much fun. Next, we have, let's make sure I'm not missing out on anything to tell you. So, okay, we talked about that. Right. Next, I have signed up to do the Heaven and Earth Designs 2024 Stitch Along. Now, back in the day, they used to have a bulletin board, which was this kind of message board before social media and Facebook groups and everything became a thing. And it was run a little differently. You had a choice of one of four, but it was a mystery sal back then. You know how much I love my mystery sals. And you could only choose, they would show you just one like 20 by 20 splotch of the pattern, and you had to pick which one you wanted. And if you completed the chart, you got all the other charts. If you, at the end, you would receive that chart that you selected. This year, they're doing it a little bit differently. You just have to go onto their website and purchase the SAL, 2024 SAL, and then you have to join their Facebook group where you fill out a form with your order number, and then it asks you to select which project you want to do. I selected, make sure I get the name right, Rainbow Little Dragons. So colorful. It's going to be so much fun to stitch on. And this year what they're doing is that if you finish 4 pages by the end of the year, you get the other charts that you could have selected, I believe. Don't quote me on this. And then if you finished your entire chart, now we're not talking small charts. This project, this Rainbow Dragon one, it's almost, let me do the calculations. Where's my calculator? So it is 2 times 217, about more than 60,000 stitches. So that's going to take a lot for some people to be able to finish the project. But if you do, then you get your choice of 2 charts from the Heaven and Earth website. So a pretty good prize, you know what I mean? If you actually finish your stitching, and it's going to be so much fun. I love Heaven and Earth. I love a good sal, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that starts in January, of course. And again, I sent a message to my good friend Kaylee, and I said, Kaylee, I need to buy some more fabric from you. And I said, here's the chart that I want to do. What do you think? And this time I think I asked for 20 count, I think. And she's going to send me some amazing fabric, and I'll show it to you when it arrives. I think it's going to arrive before the new year, which will be wonderful. Then I can start on the new year. And it's going to be so much fun. My plan for that is to stitch on every month, because I want to at least get a close to, I don't even know how many pages it is, but I want to make good progress on it. So I want to stitch on it, and I'm going to give myself every 1st to the 5th of the month, I'm going to stitch on the Heaven and Earth Designs 2024 SAL. Okay, next up we have, I randomly on my Instagram feed, I came across another sal, that I wanted to join. And it is the 2024 Quaker Flag Stitch Along. It's being hosted by Wombat Hollow Crafts and Darvanali Designs Studio. The start date is January 26, 2024, and they have designed, or they're hosting this, but it's being designed by Viv Stars. You know, the one who did my ottoman tiles? Vivian from at Viv Stars on Etsy has designed all these flags in a Quaker style. I, of course, picked the Canadian flag. As you can see, it's going to look amazing. So I think I need to send another message to Kaylee, because it's just so much fun to stitch on colored fabric. Why not? So I decided to do the Canadian flag because, hello, I'm Canadian. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And start date is not till January 26th, so that's good. Oh, yes, I did decide. So that one I'm going to stitch on every Saturday, so that I can see some progress and make some progress. So I'm very, very excited for that one. And I have one more Sal to talk about. My good friend Patty from 4 Boys and an NL Girl. She told me about a lovely Sal that is happening on Facebook called the Leap Year Sal, because 2024 is a leap year. So they started a group. It's called Leap Year Sal 2024 on Facebook. And the start date is February 29th, 2024. End date is February 29th, 2028. Not very many rules. Just has to be a new start. Has to be full coverage. And it has to be a minimum of 100 by 100 stitches. And the hashtag that they wanted to use for that is hashtag LY2428SAL. I chose Heaven and Earth Designs. I've been wanting to start this one. It is so colorful. And I thought 4 years to stitch it, I think I'll be doing okay. I'll get a little bit of progress on it, right? I chose Mini Coloring Book Afternoon by Amy Stewart. I think it's going to be so much fun to stitch on. It's so colorful and I can't wait. And Kaylee is already working on a piece of fabric for me for that. She's my go-to girl when it comes to fabric. Now, I decided to do the Leap Year Sal. I'm going to stitch on it every Friday. So to recap, I know I have a lot of plans. I don't know how long into the year that it'll all change, but for now, I feel like this is going to work. So my anniversary piece, I want to stitch on at least 100 stitches every night. The Christmas piece, every 24th and 25th of the month for the year. Then my Sals, I've got the Leap Year Sal I want to do every Friday. I've got the Heaven and Earth Designs Sal 2024. I want to stitch on that every 1st to the 5th of the month. And then I've got the Quaker Canadian Flag Sal. I'm going to stitch on that every Saturday. And Birds in Bloom I'm going to stitch on every Sunday. In between all of this, I haven't got ottoman tiles on every 15th of the month. In between all this, on whatever days are left over, I'll continue with my rotation. This is subject to change. I'll say it right now. You know it's going to change. But for now, I feel like this is going to work. It could be ambitious. It probably is ambitious, but you know, I'm going to give it a go. So there you have it. I can't talk, but that was my WIP parade of everything that I've done so far this year. And so, you know, I'm a numbers girl. So I wanted to kind of do a bit of a quick calculation of how many stitches I've put in this year. And there's some projects that I couldn't really calculate, but I got about 32,000 stitches in. Not a bad stitching year. I'm really happy with the results that I've made on a lot of my projects. And I did start the year out timing whenever I stitched, it went well for a little while, and then after the summer, it just, pew, those plans went out of the way. I'm going to try again because I really liked it. I like to see how long I spent on a project, so I'm going to try that again. But there you have it. Those are that's kind of a synopsis of everything that I did for 2023 and a little sneak peek at what I have planned for 2024. I know I'm being a bit ambitious and I've got a lot of plans, but I love it so much. I really look forward to everything that's to come in 2024, and I hope everyone has a fabulous new year. See you next year. Bye, everyone.